Hello and good morning. This is James with Unity of Greenville. Welcome to my program today. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you being here. Um, I am a Unity minister and I enjoy talking about positive, practical spirituality. And that's what we're doing today. I want to talk to you about a personal spiritual practice, how to develop your own practice to strengthen your spirituality and to cause you to be able to find peace and to find a sense of uh, joy in what you do, who you are, and where you're at. So here we go. So my first question is, what inspires you and feeds your soul? What inspires you and feeds your soul? The word inspiration is the idea of the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. There are flashes of inspiration. The word inspiration means to breathe in, to take, to breathe inside, to go within. Sparks creativity, inventiveness, innovation, ingenuity, genius. And by using your imagination, it brings you into more of an original state of being. So think about what are some of the spiritual practices that you have used in the past that work for you, that help you. You might want to write those down and consider what they are and describe to yourself what they do for you, or maybe do some research and find out, what a particular spiritual practice, how it can help you. So I want to give you some examples and some ideas that maybe many of you have already thought about, but maybe you haven't really put it into a regular practice. And I think that is uh, the difference in having a successful spiritual practice and not. And that is you have to practice. You have to practice it. You have to stay with it. You have to be consistent. And that's what we're talking about. So let's talk a little bit about morning prayers, evening prayers, devotions. It's important to spend time each day centering yourself and finding some way to go within. That's most important. Finding a way to take yourself to go inside and to get centered. One of the things you can do is to use the daily word as a daily devotional. The daily word is put together in such a way where you can open it up, and each day there is an inspirational writing for that particular day. And so, as you focus on it, as you meditate on it, you are centering yourself and you are going inside. It's not just reading it. Reading it is good, but to actually consider what's being said, to contemplate. Contemplation is a powerful form of meditation. And you can use the daily word or any other daily devotional that speaks to you, that is helpful to you. You you just contemplate the sentences, you contemplate the words, you contemplate the spirit of what's being said, and you think about how you can apply it to your life and what it can do for you. Another thing that you can do is to practice silencing your mind throughout the day. The mind will constantly try to take over your day, and it will want to remind you about all of the things you're not doing correctly, all of the things you need to be doing, because it's just programming. It's just programs that are just running in the background. And that's why you need to silence the mind and to get in a calm, clear state of silence and peace. So many folks will do this in the morning and in the evening. In the morning, is a little easier because after you've been asleep, your mind is already fairly clear, and unless you've got the kind of mind that just jumps right at the first thing going on and you're already in it all. So what you want to do is practice disciplining your mind that the first thing it does is just to carry that calm sense of quiet from your sleep time into your morning practice so that you can carry it with you throughout the day. Now, your nightly meditation, as you meditate, you might want to include prayers for others. You might want to include forgiveness prayers for yourself and for whatever happened during the day. Sometimes it's good to look back at the day and consider, what you accomplished, what you did, what you learned, without judging yourself, without condemning yourself that you didn't do enough, or you did too much, or you got sidetracked, whatever, forget all those things and you just look back through your day and say, okay, how was my day? What happened? Who did I meet? What kind of interactions did I have? And then you consider maybe you need some forgiveness work. Maybe you need to just let the day go. Let the day go so that you can go into sleep. Positive prayer, affirmative prayer is another way that you can, another system that you want to add to your spiritual practice. Using affirmations to still your mind and to align with God. When you can get the mind quiet, in that moment you are in alignment with spirit. You are in alignment with the higher mind. And so that's very important. So you use these affirmations as prayers and you speak them and say them out loud. And what I usually do is every day, I have affirmations that I like to say. And so after a while, I will begin to change the focus of the affirmations, maybe in a different way, a different subject, a different topic, something that I want to improve in my life, something that I want to see in others. And I will begin to use the affirmations as a form of prayer. I say the affirmations and I just allow it to saturate my being and do the work that it needs to do in me. And then if it's intercessory prayer, which is the idea of just praying for others, then that is another way that you can pray. And you can use your positive affirmations in that way. You can use your affirmations for others. You get a sense of that person, and then you speak those affirmations, and then you envision that person surrounded by your prayers and your well wishes and your good thoughts and the higher good. And as you do that, you are holding them in prayer, you're holding space for them, and you're seeing them in their true state, which is we're all perfect. You're perfect, I'm perfect, our true nature is perfect. But we have this secondary nature called the ego that gets us into trouble. And so what I want to do is I want to see the person as their spiritual self, as their true natural self, rather than seeing them as a persona, as a personality with flaws and so forth, which we know that we do, and we understand that we are these divine beings, but yet at the same time we're physical beings and we're human beings, and we have things that come up. Sometimes we have fears, we have uh, you know physical things that come up, we have mental things that come up, we have relationship things, and all these different things. So you want to develop some affirmations that will help you to overcome these areas in your own life and in the lives of others. Because whatever affirmation you say for yourself, you can also use that affirmation for another person. Another thing that you want to consider is being present with your day and with everyone you meet. Now, a lot of people talk about being present, being in the moment, being with, being paying attention. And this is a very spiritual practice, because if I'm using my mind in a positive way, paying attention to what I'm doing in the moment, then I'm not being controlled so much by the unconscious triggers and the unconscious motivations of the subconscious. Because the subconscious only takes over when the conscious mind is not engaged. Think about that. If your conscious mind is engaged, then your subconscious is just acting in the background to support the conscious mind. But if you are not being conscious, then your subconscious will begin to rise up, and it will begin to give you thoughts and activities from the past that may have been born of fear, that may be activities that aren't healthy, maybe ways of eating that you don't want to do. If you're not conscious, then these subconscious programmings will come to the forefront. And that's why it's important to be conscious and to be aware. Experience, one of the things I love to say is every day I am divinely aware. In every moment, I have divine awareness. I am aware of my body. I'm aware of my thoughts. I'm aware of my feelings. I'm aware of people in my life. And by being conscious, then that doesn't leave any room for the subconscious to show up and to take over, because we don't need it to, because we're being fully conscious and fully present. That's why I always want to be present and in the moment. Another thing you can do is a gratitude journal, a gratitude journal. And it's to find, um, gratitude thoughts and ideas and affirmations that you can say out loud, or maybe you can write in your journal. Sometimes you may want to just write them over and over and say them to yourself as you write them. And what you're doing is you're programming your mind, and that's what this is really all about, is you're reprogramming yourself to think differently, to feel differently, to act differently, to align yourself in a more spiritual practice. And that's what the spiritual practice is about. And that's how you can make it personal. That's how you can use it in your life. And these are just some ideas. One other thing that I might mention is that this idea of combining physical movement with stilling the mind. In other words, I can go out in nature and take walks or take a hike. And as I'm doing that, I'm focused on the God within. I'm focused on the presence of God within myself. I'm focused on the affirmations. I'm focused on the silence, maybe, or I'm looking at the trees and the grass and the animals and the nature that's around me. And that feeds me. And it's important to spend time in nature every single day, because when you do that, you help your body to get back in alignment with its natural rhythms, with the natural world. And that is a very powerful thing. So, those are just some ideas to help you in your spiritual practice. I appreciate you listening to me today. Now, Wednesday night, we're going to be having a uh, metaphysical class, metaphysical discussion. And you can join us on Zoom. If you're watching online, you can go to our website and you can sign up for our metaphysical discussion. And when you do, you just give us your email, and then we will send you a link so that you can get on the Zoom call with us and you can participate. You can ask questions. You can hear what other people are saying. You can hear us talk about different ideas. And so what we're going to do is just kind of answer some questions and bring up different things that people have questions about, and discuss it and have fun doing it. So if you want to be part of that, you can join us in person or online through a Zoom link. But we need your email address. Thank you so much for joining with me today. If you'd like to make a donation, go to unitychurchofgreenville.org. You can make a donation there. We really appreciate it. And I'll be back again tomorrow to share a little bit of a recap of what we talked about on Sunday morning. Right around 5:30 on Wednesdays is when we do that, and I'll post a YouTube video on Facebook, and so you'll be able to watch it there. And then ultimately, we'll post it on our website as well, so that you have access to it at any time. Thanks for being with me today. I appreciate it. Remember to consider having and developing your own spiritual practice because it's good for you. It's good for you. All right. Have a very pleasant day. We'll see you next time.